Would you believe if I told you that we wrote this song only in 10 minutes? No? Why? It's a simple song. It's a 2+2 song. Good morning, ladies and gents. Let me guide you through a short tour of who we are and what do we represent here today. Our story began when a group of average guys decided to play some rock and roll and got themselves into one cold and dark basement, which turned out to have some kind of magic powers. Nothing special, you might think, but it was special for us because you see, that first time when we get together and when we hit the notes and played our first jam, we knew instantly that it's on. So since that day, 4 years before now, we did many great gigs together. We released our debut album and a bunch of music videos. We got on television. Yeah, we played on Mama's Music Awards, one of the biggest shows in Lithuania, and next year we even got nominated for the Best New Act. We didn't win, but no. 4 years ago, none of us did expect that to happen. And all of this was achieved with us having 9-to-5 jobs. We even wrote a song of it and we started our performance with it. It's called 9-to-5. So, with all this said, you see, being in a band may seem cool, majestic, and awesome, but like most of the times, there's one but. Trying to live 24/7 with one leg there and the other leg there can get really frustrating. We are questioning ourselves every day. Do we really want this? How much can we sacrifice? And is this really gonna work? When you work together and when you spend so much time together working on one purpose, you don't even notice when you become some kind of a second family. And being a part of a family is one of the most difficult things in this great universe. There's tension, struggling, fights over fights, constant dilemmas, who's right and who's wrong, and when these things go out of hand...
And let's make a stop here. Yeah. Well, all of this kind of sounds like first world problems, which it is in a bit. So, but we all know what a routine is, what it does to people in time, and I think that majority of us today kind of lives in some sort of a routine now. Well, if not, you most definitely did in the past. But let me tell you about the bright side of a routine. Well, all four of us here on stage and our sound man who's somewhere there. Where are you, Martinas? Yeah, so all five of us actually, we managed to live our daily lives, normal lives now. We all have normal relationships, we all have 9-to-5 jobs. And this mundane routine, it is our dream. It is the thing what we've been working for. And like, how lucky are we to make a functioning rock band into such a common everyday thing for ourselves? Like, really. Like, and was the basement even necessary? Or was it the people necessary on whom you get mad at, with whom you get frustrated with? Well, I most definitely think that we had more than enough before descending into that basement. Because like nowadays, there's this trend of telling these surreal, almost magical success stories. We've all heard them. Most definitely you heard that really popular one about the guy who got kicked out of university and he suddenly became a billionaire. Well, when they tell this story to us, they usually skip the parts mentioning like that he wasn't kicked out of university, he left it on his free will. He didn't leave just any university, he left the Harvard. And of course, he had a really detailed plan on what to do next. When we have all these facts in mind, it doesn't seem that he risked that much, did he? So, most likely you don't need to skip everything, drop everything to start living your dream, whatever it may be. It might be something really huge, like maybe you want to travel around the world, maybe you want to go to really distant locations, maybe you want to create your business, start a startup, or maybe you just want something really achievable, maybe just want to start volunteering or something. So what would we like to say to you is that you don't need to change, you don't need to transform yourself drastically. You definitely don't need no basements, no magic basements whatsoever. Just need a little bit of courage, determination, people who share the same dream as you do. So don't skip your job, don't become a different person, but don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone, which, speaking of which, they consist of this huge empty space we reserve for something magical to happen in our lives. Like in our case, it was this magic basement. In your case, it might be something more classic, different. Like there's this classical one about princes and white stallions, you know. So just don't be afraid to dream big. Get out of the basement and create your future now.